And the cards are in the air. We have 2 tables of 10 and L. And the goal for this coaching stream is to teach my guy Jurgen here, one of the contestants on Race to 25 and L, how to obliterate this high rake, low stakes game.
So we 3-bet the ace-jack suited, 5 deuce 3. I think it's a checking board most of the time. And here we're gonna c-bet on the left side. Gonna be a 1. Think we have a value bet. Go. I guess we're gonna split a lot. Probably only got goal by some 6x, and then spades if they have them.
Okay. So let's pull up the flop on the right hand table.
So the ace-jack hand, right?
Yeah. Are you checking your range? Are you building a betting range? Because that wasn't clear. I think you should have a clear approach here.
So I will be betting. So like I'm not gonna check my whole range.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use as bluffs the queen high hands, mostly. And then yeah, you have some clear value hands as well, like kings and jacks and tens, and they won't definitely what they want to bet for several reasons.
And the goal for this
I
coaching
think.
stream. So one thing we need to adjust here is your calibration of showdown value. You're treating this like it's a single raise pot. Ace high, ace jack high in a 3-bet pot on the flop has very much a high appetite for fold equity. I don't want you to rate hands based on like whether there's some chance that they're the best hand right now or whether there's some chance that they could occasionally win at showdown. The path for ace jack to showdown here is fraught with impossibility. And in a 3-bet pot, small blind, what was this against? Like hijack or under the gun?
Hijack. Hijack.
Yeah, you don't have that much showdown. It's actually quite, I'd say it's quite low down in ranges here, this hand. So to differentiate ace high from queen high is like differentiating 9 high from 7 high in a single raise pot.
Okay.
Like neither hand is rich in showdown. Both hands are hungry for fold equity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in 3-bet pots in general, you can do more betting than that on the flop. What's your sizing scheme if you bet the flop there?
I think small.
Okay, so 3-bet pot, what I'd recommend is that on low boards, use a bigger sizing. Because in a 3-bet pot, you have a giant nut advantage. The litmus test is basically if aces and kings and queens are really happy, play a bigger bet. And if they're not, play a smaller bet. And they are really happy on this board. 5 deuce 3, your opponent is not really hitting this that hard. Deuces and threes, not such a thing. Fives, maybe, maybe not. Straights, not really. So this is not 8-7-6, you know, it's not 9-8-7. It's not one of these medium boards. It's a low board, and your real ace is doing better here as well. I just ran a seminar on this last week, the intensive workshop with my friend Chris, and we actually talked about this kind of board. And this kind of board, your bet frequency starts to dial up again a bit because the cards are so low and so bricky. And your approach to this just in general is way too passive, and it's basically like putting some tiny amount of showdown value before having a solid strategy. So I think we need to be a bit more aggressive in this spot in general. That said, I'm okay with checking. I'm okay with betting. I think when you face a bet here, how big was the bet again? Like 8 into 3rd pot, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good sizing for Willem to pick. They are betting a range that's mostly 8s, 9s, 7s, you know, these kinds of hands for value, like thin value denial, jacks, 10s. Like they're betting into a range of overpair and overcards, so you're more polar. Good sizing by them. Probably accidentally. This is 10 and L, and they'll suck at cards. And we call, which I think is fine. There's some paths at 4-1 to winning this pot. There's enough stuff. I'm okay with it. I like raise though. Like if you raise, you'll just tell them that you have an overpair. You block jacks, which is one of their biggest pocket pairs. You have a bunch of outs. Like they're going to have a ton of merged hands here. I think lots of good things can happen if you raise. So I would lean raise in this pool. Like today's all about obliterating. And a line where you'll do well against the reg is like one of these fear of God lines, like check raise flop in early position 3-bet pot and bet the turn big. And you'll probably get 9s and stuff to just fold immediately or like quite high. Like by turn, you'll get 9s and 10s and stuff to fold at a really high frequency. So I think like it's early in the stream here and I don't want to be too critical, but you need to take yourself out of this defensive autopilot mode and you need to start rummaging around for options. You need to start thinking as creatively and sort of open-mindedly as you can. Right, we talked earlier, we recorded an episode of this challenge, Race 25 and L, earlier. Do you want to, I don't want to spoil anything because like we're 2 episodes behind, so we're not going to talk about anyone's results. But one of the things I said to you was, and you said to me was, there's just a big difference between like the stuff you understand and then your level of performance at the tables at the moment. Yeah. And I want you to keep focusing every hand, like try and break yourself out of that defensive autopilot as much as possible. It's really hard on stream, I know, because I've been in that hot seat with Ben watching me or Clanty watching me or something. It's hard, but just try to be open-minded and try to get into that flow state as much as you can, because when you start a stream you're going to be in the opposite of flow state. You're going to be a startled animal. That's the status quo for starting a stream, and I want you to really just like chill, relax, get curious, let the flow state happen. Let's just try and get into it as much as we can. It won't always happen, but let's try. Okay, turn. I think, like, whose range is top dog now and why on the 4?
I think ours is because we have way more ace-x than they do.
Yep. So both ranges are very polar between ace-x and not ace-x. Very polar. When there's a 4-liner to a straight, ranges are very polar between the card that has the straight and the cards that don't. And you should just be leading small on the turn, because villain's not going to bluff. They're not going to value bet worse. They have some sets. They have some pocket pair plus like straight draw. They have flush draws. You should just be leading the turn and making sure some money goes in, honestly. In theory and in practice, because checking the turn here, they're just going to check back. Every worse hand, they're not going to bluff enough. They're going to put you on an ace. They're going to play scared. There's no utility to checking the turn here, so that's hard to see. But like that 4, you need to go, okay, this resets things. If things are really reset, there might be a donking range, and it's worth thinking about on these cards. Your trigger is that completely shakes stuff up. Therefore, you should consider a donking range. And then exploitatively, it's much better to bet when they're not bluffing. On river, they're really polar between a flush, an ace, and a bunch of shit. So you tell me a better river sizing. You went 3/4 pot. What's going to happen if you bet 3/4 pot and they have a flush, an ace, or a bunch of crap?
Yeah, they're gonna fold their crap and they're gonna erase the really good stuff. So
you even said like something to the effect of they're continuing with 6x and flushes. So why are we betting 75% of the pot here?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, okay.
But this is the same leak that you're making, right? And I said to you in the coaching journeys recording earlier, you're not respecting polarity of ranges on the river enough. So when your opponent's like kind of polar on the river, your bets should just be smaller, especially when you're thin value betting. If you have a flush here, okay, let's put them to the sword, right? Let's make a big bet and let's capitalize on the fact that they're not going to fold an ace. But in this spot, trying to be called by a pair for B75 is honestly just a bit whimsical. It's a bit like a fantasy. You know? It's like when I grow up, I want to be a spaceman. It's like that kind of thing, I would say. And you became a fisherman. Probably wasn't your childhood dream to be a fisherman. You probably wanted to be a spaceman, but you became a fisherman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Yeah, the turn lead, I wouldn't. Yeah.
That's fine. It's out with your current poker vernacular, no problem. Put it on your radar. But river you can do better, and flop you can do better, and you can think about showdown value in a better way in 3-bit pots, where it takes more to have robust showdown value in a 3-bit pot. It really takes a lot more to class your hand as showdown value. It's not like villain just has all the combos of Jack 10 off now, like in the single race pot. Okay, so 3-bit pots could be an area to study more. Cards in the air, and as you sit in here, let any apprehension go, exhale, and think about the zone, and just do you, be you, go into that A-game mode if you can, zone, and don't worry about the consequences. We'll make mistakes, it's all good. Let's just try and flow state as much as we can here.
All right.
Guys, are you watching Race to 25NL? You following the series? Did you miss the Black Friday sale? That's okay, we got you covered. Code LATEBIRD will get you 33% off until Monday only. Code LATEBIRD, one word. Missed the sale, crying about it. Don't worry.
I'm gonna 4-bet the aces. Just below 20.
Move about a bit, Jurgen. Loosen up. Shake about. I know this sounds weird, but this is part of my coaching sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
It's about getting that energy, right? Like, you're in a bit of a state right now, a scrunched state, and it's just like, let's move, let's be free, let's let the juices flow in the brain, you know? That's it.
Yeah.
You should do that when you're playing as well. When I'm not here, you should make sure that you're in the right zone. You're bobbing about, not defensively scrunched, you know? Sometimes the body tells the brain what state to be in, so we can use the body to tell the brain. Become a space fisherman. Fish in space. Ambitious.
That will be fun. That will be fun.
Zero gravity fishing.
Bit difficult, I guess, but
Not many fish in space. What do you guys think about extraterrestrial life? Do you think we're alone in the universe? Fermi paradox time. What do you think, Jurgen?
I think we are currently the only civilization at this state of civilization. But I'm not going to say we're alone, and I'm not going to say there is no life. But the chances that another civilization is at the same level of so the same level of I don't know the English word.
Yeah, like sophistication.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution, then
Right.
yeah, I don't think the possibilities are very, 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 very slim. Big jacks. I don't know. Okay, here we're gonna fold now versus the race. So after check, the likelihood of a queen is gonna be less. So I think we can go for a small bet. Mid-range is gonna be merged, some ace highs, and then some smaller pocket pairs. Could still have a queen, of course. On spade river, if he has any spades, now eights get there as well. I think block could be a thing, but I want to check. Facing 2/3. So he's saying he has a strong queen, eights. I think. I don't know. I'm gonna fold.
Yeah, I like the fold. Okay, review time. Say it just one time, Peter, so I can remember the better times. True, EV. Oh, we have the wrong scene. I don't have a hotkey on my pad thing. Oh, I do. Is it that one? It's that one. All right, we're back. So we'll talk about both of these hands, starting with jacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So flop, what's your toolkit? What's your sizing on a queen high
Um,
board?
so on a queen high board, I go mostly B55. So B50 or B55, it's for me, or check.
Okay.
Um, just because the queen is probably one of the worser cards for us. Now the board is fairly dry, so maybe we just have a range bet, but I don't think so. So I think jacks don't fall into the bets, um, in my opinion, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. So I'm fine with B55 being your sizing here. The queen is not the best Broadway view. It's not a terrible spot, but queen 6-5, the 6 and the 5 are not ideal. There are better queen high boards view than queen 6-5. So I'm fine with splitting range at B55. I don't necessarily think you size up because you are at a disadvantage or because you don't like the board. You size up when aces and kings and queens, etc., want to play for stacks. And on queen 6-5, aces and kings do want to play for stacks. They're very big hands. And sizing up is fine on a queen high board. On an ace high board, like ace 6-5, it's not, because kings and queens don't want to play for stacks. Right? Same litmus test. So I don't like the idea of like the board's bad, so I size up. No, it's like the board being good for you overall drives how often you range bets, and whether aces and kings, etc., want to play for stacks drives your sizing. So let's just say B55 is the sizing. We're splitting. We're going kind of polar. I don't play B55 on this board personally, although it's fine to. And so I'm not 100% sure, but I'd guess jacks can still bet at B55. And they can check. Like, I don't think it's too thin to bet jacks at B55 at all. You'd maybe slow down later. So I think you can go either way. Don't feel that strongly about it. My metal detector of EV gain is not going off in this spot in the flop. Like, I'm okay with either line. On the turn, classically, you'd be building around mostly stronger hands when you bet the turn here, because you're more polar, right, in the 3-bet pot. You're the one with ace, queen, king, queen, aces, kings more now. And I don't think you have a 6. I don't think you have 7s. I don't think you're thin. You might have 7s, but you just check it. Like, try and simplify your approach to these spots so you're less lost. And pick a sizing that your value hands would normally use. And then bet your hand if it qualifies at that sizing. Check if it doesn't. Let's pick a bigger sizing than this. B75, something like that. And I think jacks can bet at bigger sizing too. I think they're good enough in this node. They can also check. If you bet big on the turn, you're not going to also bet big on the river. You're going to slow down at some point. And if you check the turn and villain checks back, you can then bet big on the river. Your hand's massively upgraded on this card. Or a brick. As played, you block, which it's not a bad line with jacks at all. It's not a mistake. It's not an EV loss, but it's not really congruent with like a single size turn strategy that fits your range, because your range is much more polar than B33 here. Your value hands are much better than that in general that you want to be betting. So I would go big or check here. And it's for a game sanitation reason, really. It's not because I think blocking jacks is bad. It's just to like straighten out your thought process a bit. As played, you block villain calls. The river, you say, I think block could be a thing, but I'm going to check. Talk to me more about that.
Yeah, I think they still have the 9s and the 10s. And then some, yeah, they're not gonna have too many 8s, maybe some 7-8, some things like that. I will call us a small block bet. So I think our hand is around it's mediocre. I mean, we have a mediocre hand, so it's around 60, maybe even low percentage in equity. So I think you can block. Yeah, but I just decided not. I wasn't sure. So if I'm not sure, I should check.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think if you're not sure, that's a fine way to go. If you can thin value bet against this pool, do, because it's generally better than like checking. Like, no one's over bluffing here. This is a really under bluff spot because they've filtered towards showdown. They've just hit a set of 8s. They've just hit a flush, and they can still have a good queen sometimes, although I think it's rare. When they size up river, they are repping quite thin for value. They're saying they have like, I don't know, ace queen plus or something like that. But I think with our, like, I really just don't think that this is a spot we want to be bluff catching, because they've filtered a bet on turn. I don't know. Like, in general, Against a good player, this could get overbluffed because they're basically just saying they have a flush or a set. But they are going to fold bottom of range on turn. They're probably going to fold ace jack on the turn and ace 10 and stuff like that, right? They're not going to have these hands king jack, no draw. They'll probably fold on turn. So equally, they don't have a lot of air. So it's not a high air spot. And it's a spot that's post filtering. It's a big bet. Stuff got there. Yeah, I think fold is the way to go. I'm leaning this being underbluffed. Your jacks are doing nothing to block any value combo at all. If you have a jack of spades here, it's great because you don't block any bluffs with that, but you do block value with that. So it's closer. For sure, with the jack of spades, it's closer. But I like fold. Yeah. Trivi is a real thing. It's a real life-changing approach. I agree. Yeah. Where have you been, by the way? Where have you been? You've changed your name? And where have you been? Explain yourself. All right. So on the left-hand table, if this was button big blind, you have a clear fine barrel with queen 7 with a spade. When you're out of position, the standards are higher. And total trash, the default is to give up because your fold equity is less and therefore you need more pot equity. So my default approach, blind versus blind, is to bluff with gutters, an ace of spades, you know, something with a bit more EV, bit more equity, and just check fold the bottom stuff. Check fold the hopeless trash when you're out of position, but it's fine to bet in turn barrel in position, delayed C bet in position, all of these nodes, it's fine. Just note the difference between out of position and in position here. It's a big theoretical point.
Okay.
All right. A lot of stuff to take in here already. A lot of stuff to assimilate into your game. And on the river there, I would have liked to see more analysis of like how much air gets there. Right? Like you were talking about what villain was repping for value in that hand, but you weren't really talking about like how much air is in their range. Maybe you were thinking that, but you weren't talking about it.
Yeah, not really. I'm gonna 4-bet the ace king.
And you guys have got cheat sheets, remember, from like the early days of the series, like little flow charts for thinking through these key spots like bluff catching.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yep. That's boring.
I really think that's so inappropriate. Oh, there's Shu. Yes. Hey Shu, what's up? She's streaming?
I don't know.
It's Jurgen's. Hey Siri, I wasn't talking to you, go away.
She's jealous.
I found this on the web for I wasn't talking to you, go away. Check it out.
Hey Siri, get a grip of yourself.
Okay. I found this on the web for get a grip of yourself. Check it out.
Hey Siri, shut up.
Okay.
And that's how you talk to people, guys. That's how you do it. Put them in their place. AI, not AI, it's all the same. I will say this race to 25 NL is heating up. It's getting juicy. What do you guys think about season 4 dropping right after season 3 ends? Who's going to watch that?
I will.
Popcorn Friday night. Wife's like, it's a new Netflix show about a CIA agent that gets fired and then comes back in retirement to solve a key case. Do you want to watch it? And you're like, no. Pete Clark's going on the TV. He's going on the living room TV. Yeah.
So peeling the turn here with the gut shot and the 9 versus a small bet. Like this is like milking stuff going on. But for that sizing, I think I need to call. I'm not sure though. Yeah, well. Here with the gut shot, I'm gonna check raise this versus a small bet. Although he has a lot of a6. The deuce turn is a brick, so think we go big if we have value. So, and if we don't, and we have bluffs, we go
Yeah.
big as well.
Well applied with the turn sizing. I think one thing you want to note on the flop is that you are against UTG, and it is an ace high board. So I call this bullying. I call this bullying. I've done a lot of bullying in my lifetime, and ace high board UTG, it's not really the spot.
Okay. Yeah.
I've done a lot of bullying in my lifetime. But
Right.
no, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Like, if you have a backdoor, it's better, right? You just have way more ways of getting there. You're going to block a few more of villains' stuff that can also get there. Like, if you have Queen Jack of Diamonds, it might push you over the threshold against Under the Gun from wanting to do it, from not wanting to do it. Button, you just raise his hand, always. Like, you don't give a shit against button or small blind. You just say, what's that? You've bet your range 10NL villain? I'm going to obliterate you. Good luck. Good luck continuing. Under the Gun, they have enough stuff that they'll just continue naturally anyway. Like, you won't be able to exploit them there because range doesn't allow for it. When they're button, they shouldn't be betting, like, okay, if they bet every combo of King 5, they have to know they're doing that, and they have to, like, call lots of pairs to your raise. Okay, the other thing to say is that the logic you used on the turn can also be applied to the flop. Again, this is not late position. You're not raising, like, naked ace 10 very often. You're building around 2 pair plus on flop. So your check rate should be bigger in these positions because you're building more nutted.
Okay.
All right. Guys, don't forget code LATEBIRD until Monday. If you missed our sale, we've got you covered, but you do have the extra admin now of having to put a code in to make your purchase, and that's your own fault for missing the sale. Too bad.
Six, 7 off opening. Then the big blind, he had like 13 VP or something. It's probably asleep.
Just watch your, speaking of asleep, watch your in it to win it with ace 6 suited, because if you've got a recreational player on the table there and it goes min open, call, you might want to play that ace 6 suited on the right hand table.
Okay.
Shu is hunting Gergen. Scary stuff.
Right.
Wouldn't want to be hunted by Shu.
Doesn't sound fun. Doesn't sound fun to get hunted by Shu.
No. She's like a scary, like, she's got like the persona of a child, but like a scary child. I don't know. She's like a child in poker, you know? Like, loves the game, curious, fascinated, excited, but pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
I was thinking about a Clanty rap, guys. What do you think? Where it's like, I've done a lot of bullying in my lifetime, done a lot of bullying in my lifetime, done a lot of bullying in my lifetime. I call it bullying. What do you think? Clanty rap?
Would be nice.
Yeah, I think we should do it. We should do a rap with all the poker personalities.
Oh my god, imagine. Yeah, then Jack could just, I'm gonna peel although 16 VP flank. Easy.
Too tired for the gym, Andrew? Well, that's not good enough.
I think we are gonna start betting.
Yeah, I love it. Very underprotected node. Standards are not high for you to bluff here at all. The only thing I'd say is, okay, you can have overbets there, and big bets and small bets. You will be doing a lot of small betting as well, because like you're leading pairs, you're leading one pair that's vulnerable. So again, think about like what's the nature of your value range. What kind of sizes do you want? You might want two sizes in that spot. You might want a bigger one and a smaller one.
Okay.
But yeah, very underprotected node. Definitely a good spot to probe turn pure with that hand and just take the money. Just take the candy from the baby. Like don't mess about. You need to obliterate these people. You cannot be like letting them off the hook ever. It's the way to think about high rake, low stakes games, guys. You cannot be letting them off the hook. You have to be a relentless obliterator. AI abuse? Yeah, pretty much. She ignores me a lot of the time, though. You've got to remember that.
I think I'm just folding.
Is that button under the gun, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so under the gun just like doesn't have enough air in that spot at all. Like they're just airless, so don't bluff catch that spot. Check bet against UTG there is pretty grim for you. Check bet generally is overbluffed, but when they're under the gun and you're button on that board, it's just not right. With this hand, we open 5-3 on button, which I love. I would do this always, and we bet flop.
Yep. And we could. I don't know if you got like. I don't know if you need to go bigger, but if you bet range, I think small is fine. I think on 9-3-3, I think you can bet close to range.
Yeah, again, it's a paired board, so like the 3 beats your overpairs, right? So your overpairs are less inclined to pile in money, so just default to small.
Okay. And then the sizing on the turn, yeah, I know the flush gets in.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can go huge, although we do have the 3. So I think P75 is fine. You could go smaller as well, of course. But
so we're not building around some unique nutted range anymore. Like villain has flushes too. Smaller is good here. A 3 has loads of redraw to boat. It's still a big hand. I still really like betting it against this pool. If you check, they're just not going to bluff you. They're just not going to put enough pressure in these nodes. So like slow playing the hand that can become a boat is just not on here. Like you just have to bet this turn, even though it's a club. Like theory, it's optional. Real life, mandatory bet. Don't pass up thin value when they're under bluffing the next node. We talked about next node under bluffed before, right?
Yeah.
I'll sleep on writing you a real rap. Okay, Andrew, sounds good. The check raise traumatized you? Which check raise? The Queen Jack one? I mean, it's a bit loose, but I wouldn't say it's traumatizing. Jack 10 preflop call and 4-4 preflop call from the button is crime scenes. Okay, the Jack 10 call against 2.5 is too loose. The 4's call is actually just break even in theory and fine. Like it's actually fine to flat 4's button versus CP. It's not an EV loss. You might see your solver like not do it very often. Don't mistake that for a crime scene. That's a bit of an overreaction to like a break even play. Are you copying charts, Spirit Music? You wouldn't be copying charts, would you? You wouldn't do that on Carrot Corner in front of all these people, would you? No, I didn't think so. Done a lot of bullying in my lifetime.
That's such a great moment.
I think I might be milking it too much. I don't get many good moments, though. I have to cling on to whatever I can get. Would be nice to hear some news from the old ones, like Mark from Losing to Cruising. How is he doing? Does he still play? I don't know, actually. I've not spoken to Mark in a while. I know Jess is still hanging around the community and streams sometimes. I don't know if Mark's playing at the moment or whether... I know he's doing a lot of stuff with, like, football coaching. Like, he's coaching kids in five-a-sides and stuff, I think. So he's been pretty busy with... I think it's football he coaches. He's been really busy with that. So it could be he's playing less poker, I don't know. Great people, Mark and Jess, a lot of time for them. Everyone we've had on this show has been great.
So facing 2/3 with the king 10, with the redraw and the middle pair, we're gonna call. I think with the 8s versus cutoff, versus a bit over half pot, I think it's close. Confident. Focus on the other hand. Yeah, I think versus 2/3 now, we just have a fold, not sure. But otherwise, we get into grim spots again. And
yeah, I mean they're not that grim. They're just like they're just like medicine you have to take, right? Like it's like you have to wake up and you have to like take the bin out some mornings, you know? It's just stuff like that. Like don't think of it as grim, just think of it as like a duty. So king 10, how overbluffed, underbluffed is turn on this texture? Jack 10, 9 ace.
it's probably fairly underbluffed.
Are you thinking about that when the hand is happening?
No,
Right.
not at that point.
Why are you not thinking about that? What do we need to do to get you to think about that? So, how many tables are you playing? Generally?
3.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What if you, once a day, one table for 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Would you do that for me?
Yeah, for sure.
And like every hand that comes, you're like plotting, planning, thinking ahead, like not planning out the hand, but like you're just thinking. And when you're on that turn, it's like I am facing a turn bet on a messy board. It's not enough to just think about whether my hand's a call in theory. Like in theory, your hand is probably a pure fold. But the point is that that's secondary to being able to understand overbluffed and underbluffed turn barrel spots.
Mhm.
Jack 10 and 9 ace when you're cut off is incredibly difficult to bluff enough on, because in game theory you're probably meant to be bluffing 5-4 suited here at some frequency. On this card, this is a good card for you. You're in position, the standards are low from what you need. This is so underbluffed. Villain is drowning in value. Imagine that like Villain is a kid in a ball pool and the value hands are all the balls. That's what it's like. You know, when you see like the kids and they're like submerged in the ball pool, you can barely even see them. It's like the value hands are like everywhere. King, queen, ace, jack, pocket aces, other two pairs, other sets, 8-7, queen 8 suited. Value hands are everywhere, like a disease. And you need to be noticing it. You need to be thinking, what's the human range? So I think the challenge you're facing is all the poker you've played on autopilot. I call it autopiloting on level 2 GTO. Like imagine GTO goes up to level 10 and someone like Clanty's like level 10 and you've learned GTO up to level 2 and then you start autopiloting that level 2 knowledge of GTO. That's so much worse than just being open-minded, exploiting, hand reading, thinking. You don't have a theory game that's good enough that you could win with just your theory game. And it's far from an optimal way of approaching a game like this. But you are defaulting to just using your theory game. Insufficient as that is to beat the rake at these stakes, and as suboptimal as that is approach-wise, you are defaulting to it a lot of the time. Okay. And we've got to try and break that. So next hands you play today, I want you just to gently remind yourself, if you can, what do I think is going on here exploitatively? What do I have any opportunities? You might not, but ask. Okay. Yeah, are they overbluffing or underbluffing? Stick you on the monitor, that can help. I hope Cruiser can come back to the stream. Me too, I like Cruiser. Cruiser's great. You don't remember if you took your pills, or you took your pills and that's why you don't remember? Spirit music. Just checking in. You okay?
Left side, I think we have an easy call. And ace 10 suited, I don't know, out of position. if you call a 4-bet. Yeah. And now we missed the board completely, so we just gonna fold. With the ace king, face a turn, but I think we have enough showdown value here to check. I'm gonna win enough times.
Yeah, we have a heap of showdown value with ace king because they've polarized and then given up, right? So we have a heap against that line. We don't want to reopen that hand there. Good. But if you had less, it's a mandatory bluff spot because you've gone call and they've gone check. Okay. I have a question, but I don't know whether it's rude or not. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to decide that. I mean, if it's like clearly just nasty or like really uncouth and just like not suitable for like 10:54 a.m. on a Friday, like probably don't say it. Otherwise, it's probably fine. I mean, I'm not easily upset these days, so don't worry about upsetting me.
Okay.
I used to ban people just when I was streaming Jurgen because I had such a bad streaming mental game. I just banned them the minute they said anything. And now I'm like, God, I was so insecure. But my mental health wasn't good back in the day when I first started streaming. So it took very little to rile me. Whereas now I'm like, come at me, brosifs. Ace 10, how good a call is that really going to be pre against the 4-bet in this pool? Like, it's probably
very bad.
So you didn't ask whether it was overbluffed or underbluffed, right? I keep reminding you, you've got this very flimsy theoretical call that you don't really know how to play post flop. You struggle to make it winning, and then you didn't ask how the pool's going with their 4-bets, right? So that's what you've got to do.
Yep.
You can see what changes you have to make. It's just getting your brain to remember to do it in game in 5 seconds. That's the problem we're facing here. That's why we need to do more like live play type stuff. You've got to do a lot of work with your in-game thought process. Find people to do sweats with. You've got to coach yourself in performance in-game. How can we do the same with me, please? I play the game 5 years in a shatter island without community, and I've seen many of your content for years. Yeah, not having community is hard. And the simple answer is we can't just work with everyone that watches the show for free. And even people who pay like a good amount of money for me hourly, like I still sometimes can't work with them because I have too many people or not enough time. So the simple answer is like we can't like work with everyone. But we can keep making new content and hope that it's enough. And you can ask questions and you can start with Carrot Corner and get grade 1 of the Carrot Poker School, join the Discord. This is a path you can take. Look for advice. I accidentally wrote a tiny song about you while trying to fall asleep a while ago. That's not rude. I'd love to hear the song. Maybe.
Here on the river, giving up is fine, I imagine, on the king.
So flop goes check, check.
We go small, so yeah, again, if we have a 7 and 8, something like that, think a small bet is fine.
I think an 8's really big. Like you might be able to go a bit bigger here with a 7 or an 8, actually. But yeah, small bet's reasonable against DP. Against button, you might size up a bit to B75 or something there with your betting range, actually. But yeah, I'm okay with that. If you want to say small, I'll stop rambling. If you want to say small is your play for like these very low boards on turn, I'm cool with that. King comes on river. What's going on here then? Like, what do you... Like, theory-wise, I don't think you have a mandatory bluff or anything like that. But exploitatively, what's going on? What's their range like for getting to river?
It's going to be very merged. But with the king, it makes them... I mean, they think they still have about a good amount of king X left in the range.
Like what?
Yeah, not... ace king if they don't bet flop, of course, and then king queen. I think king queen of clubs calls.
That's one combination.
Yeah, it's mostly ace highs then
right.
That call.
So I think king queen of anything should always call a turn, but I don't think it will. at these stakes. That's why the small probe is so effective, because they just see it as air, and they will fold it sometimes. And you don't have to bomb the river for an overbet. If their range is polar to like ace high, pair of fours, and then a king that they've just hit, which it is, you just find a smaller sizing. But to me, after you probe a turn small, river is almost always an auto bluff spot, mandatory exploitatively in this pool. And I want you closing your eyes and just betting it.
And then to a bigger sizing, you mean B75 is fine.
Yeah, or even like smaller, like dial it down a bit. If you think the river polarizes them, you can dial it down. You could block. You could block the river here, and if they're folding like 25% of the time, you're already doing well. They're folding a third of the time because they just have ace high a third of the time, or they have ace high 40% of the time here, and they fold it all. You're printing. So block is a good play here, and you would block an 8 and you would block a 7. But you've got to think, like, what's my value range doing? Okay, it's blocking a lot, or it's over betting, because the value hands you're betting are either like they're either like an 8 or a 7 or a really good hand, or 9s or 10s or a really, really good hand. So you have overbets and you have blocks, and your overbet should be fucking huge. It should be like 4x the pot, because your overbetting range is 8, 7, pocket 7s, pocket 8s, king 8, king 7, 3s, deuces. So you should be like 4x in pot and river here at a frequency with Jack 10 in theory. And you should also be blocking at a frequency, and you should maybe be giving up at a frequency too. I don't know. But then in the real world, I just pick one of those two bluff sizes. I either go 4x pot or I block. I'd like, okay.
In the real world, okay.
In the real world, I just always 4x pot or I block. And I don't really care which you do. I think both have a lot of merit. I wouldn't B75, because I don't think you really have a value range for B75 here. Maybe you've hit a king on the river with like king 9. So maybe you have some, but even that I would block because villain's so polar between king X and ace high. So if I had king 9, I just block. Keep it simple, that's your toolkit. I know this thinking's hard, but if you start off by just thinking like, what's my value toolkit? And then, can I bluff my hand in theory? Yes. And then like, do I want to bluff my hand in practice? The answer is usually yes. So you either go giant and you make a king indifferent and it will fold sometimes. It will, trust me. You go 4x the pot here, a king will fold. Decent clip. Yeah, and if you go block, they'll fold a ton. But you got to bluff the river in these spots of this pool if you want to obliterate it. Honestly, like, coaching you guys to beat this game has made me way better at 10NL. Not that I've ever played 10NL, but it's made me way better at coaching it. Because everything that's true at 100 as an exploit, or 200, is just more true at 10. That's really all the difference is. Right, guys, still, you can save 33% off with code LATEBIRD at Carrot Corner.
I think I'm just gonna call and not 3-bet the flop at the 10s. I'm gonna call the ace jack off on the button. I think we call again here. The 6s.
No, he checks 8s. King jack. Well.
I'm gonna start off with a call. It's a spot that compared with the last one, like they're drowning in 2-pair and sets and ace queen and all that stuff. I think I'm just gonna hold.
Well done. Don't click the rabbit. Screw the rabbit. You did well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's such a habit. That's unbelievable. That's stupid. But
you did well there, because you just noted the most salient fact about the spot in true EV terms, which is that they're just under bluffing. So you fold.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
The other hand.
Yeah, I was actually thinking on the flop if 3-bet would be a thing. I would be good here. On the other hand, he's a short stacked player. He's probably over bluffing when I check to when he does this.
Does your hand like fold equity? It's a huge thing about fast play,
Yes.
slow play. Does your hand benefit from fold equity? And can you get this 30 bigs in on the flop against like lots of worse hands, merges, etc.?
Yes, probably
Right.
yes.
So just raise, just 3-bet the flop. Just get the money in.
Okay.
Like if he folds, he's folding equity most of the time. Like you're lucky in a sense that King Jack doesn't outdraw you here. Or bluff you on an ace queen run out or something. There's ways you lose against King Jack. So you shoving the flop or raising the flop, re-raise. They used to call that in high stakes poker. And Dial's gonna re-raise here. If you do that on the flop here, like you're gonna get useful fold equity. You're gonna get it in against hands that are drawing dead against you, while simultaneously denying equity to live hands. And you don't have to worry about giving villain 2 more cards. So the fact he's short is actually a license for you to just stick it in, because now if he has a 5, you don't really care, because you can, it's not an overinvestment to get felted with 10s against the 5 at this SPR. And most crucially, he's mergy, spewy, and his bluffs are live against you. So this to me is a clear flop 3-bet and a clear turn shove. The turn shove is the same reasoning. He's sized down. What's he got when he sizes down turn? What's his most likely kind of hand?
Yeah, exactly the hand that he has.
I would say
Something
also like 9s or something, or 7-8, or like 4s, or just some pair plus straw. Ace-7. And you're not going to make another penny against 8s here on so many rivers by just calling. You're giving his air the chance to hit. He's already shown you that he's not bluffing big with air, if he does have air. So we need to be fast playing this node. This is like urgent, vulnerable value that can get in against worse. It's not he's polar, we are totally condensed. It's not like you've got pocket aces and that guy either has trips or bluff. That's not the case. It's just a merged range. So fast play with a vulnerable hand against the merged range.
Yeah, and here you don't want to. It's not like we have 7s that we don't that we want to keep.
Right.
The bluff in there.
Right.
Oh.
We're fine for the bluffs to fold because they're live.
Yeah. Well, if you have, for example, 7s or aces, you're not gonna do that.
Yep. Peter, can you elaborate on how player pool adjustments at 100 NL are even more profitable at 10 NL? I'm curious. Sure, says Dial on Twitch. So at 100 NL, humans are a bit better at cards, but they still do human stuff that's bad. And at 10 NL, they're worse at cards, and therefore the stuff they do that's bad is amplified by how bad they are at cards. The end. True EV is timeless. I agree. We have a series called True EV on Carrot Corner for subscribers. And it comes as part of the Golden Carrot, which is 33% off with code LATEBIRD if you missed our sale. Just FYI. Do I overplug, guys? Do I plug too much? I think I do plug too much. I can't help it, though. I get a dopamine hit every time I plug.
This sizing, I think I need to call again. Um, 3-bet, bet, triple barrel. Here with the redraw and top pair going. Think we're splitting at best. I'm just gonna pay the 1 big blind just so I don't need the time shit. So here I think we're splitting at best. We do block, so the question is maybe turning it into a bluff could be a thing, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think we only need to win so 40. 30% of the time, and we're gonna split sometimes. I'm gonna make the call, but I don't know for sure. It's the most likely hand, of course.
Brutal spots, not easy spots. But let's start with that one. What did you not do on the river?
Over or under bluffed.
Yeah. King, ace, 4, jack, 3 flush, triple Broadway. Verdict?
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to say anything else.
I have to get you to be honest about what's actually going on there in your thought process. Do you feel like it's hard to fold? Like you really don't want to fold? Or is it just like...
No, it's...
So it's not mental game stuff there, it's just you've done the wrong reasoning?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you have a catcher, right? Like I don't think you're chopping ever. I don't think ace queen can do this. I don't think ace queen can triple here. It's far too weak on this board.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that was off, was this talk of chopping. But the talk of chopping to me sounded like an excuse, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just a misanalysis.
Okay. Yeah. It was not an excuse.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Over, under bluffed, every time you face any aggression, you act on that. Because what you've done there, like that thought process there, it doesn't really have any substance to it, because it's just like, I need to win 30%. It's like, yeah, but that just defines the pot odds. It doesn't tell you how often you win.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, I might be chopping sometimes. I'll call. That was the thought process. And what that's lacking is hand reading, over under bluffed analysis, and an honest reflection on whether you do win 30% of the time. Because I'm struggling to see what a button 3-better, how a button 3-better bluffs here at 10-0. Like what combo do they have when they're bluffing? That's the thing you need to ask. What do they land on river with that constitutes a bluff? 10-9 of clubs, 10-9 of spades, sure. Are they going to bet that on the turn? Maybe not, because they're not that aggressive and it's a scary board. Are they going to also bet that on the river? Probably not. And we're grasping at straws just to give them a few combos. Do they bluff jack 10 or pocket 10s? Probably not. Not at 10-0.
Not enough, no.
Do they bluff 5s or 6s? Probably not. Are they drowning in value? Yep. So we're at a bit of a frustrating point here where you know you can do better, but you're not doing better, and it's really frustrating, right? It's really, really annoying. I get it. It's really annoying. There will be a breakthrough, and I've seen you play well before. You're in a bit of a rut at the moment. You're a little bit paralyzed in game at the moment. And we're going to need to find some inspiration to break out of this, and I think that inspiration could be ask that question. Just ask that question. I do think that your default game when you're not playing well is a stationary, passive kind of game.
Yeah, it's this. It's exactly this.
We're seeing it right now, right? We're seeing your F game today.
The same with the tens. Like, if I'm playing well, it's never going to happen that I just call 3 times and I just simply call it. And yeah, I feel just super paralyzed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, you're going through a really testing time at the moment.
Yep.
You've been breaking even a while. Like you're in a bit, but you're not getting slaughtered. Even you're playing your worst poker at the moment, and you're still kind of surviving in this game because this game sucks. Like you can still survive in this game with that. Like neither of us are happy with it, but you can survive.
No, this is just it. And that's what I had the whole week already. It's like this stinks, and then I make the decision, and it only makes it worse. And you look afterwards, and then you say, "Why the heck did I ever?"
Because you're freezing in game. You're freezing in game. You're not able to access your
like
thoughts.
Now I just can't think for the moment. It just doesn't work.
Yep. Yep. So you got to just break this down into very bite-sized, small steps. Like basically just planning it out, right? If I'm facing a bet, I ask if it's over bluffed or under bluffed, and I think about villain's range, and that's all I think about. That's all I think about. Because you've probably got too much in your thought process as well. You've got a lot of like unapplied theory in there, like jumbled ideas. You do have that, and that makes you harder to coach than Shu. She was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm like a child. I just pick up. I just picked up poker. Like, just picks up because she's not got that jumbled toy box of tools. And you do, and it makes it harder. And it means that when you're playing badly, it gets even more jumbled and messy and opaque.
Yeah, now it's just a mess in my head as well, and
Yeah.
I just
This
I
is
just couldn't
common. What you're
I
going
just
through,
couldn't figure it out.
yeah.
I just couldn't figure it out.
The gears weren't moving though. Like your
No,
gears
it's
were just stuck.
no.
So what you're going through, every poker player goes through at some point. Chat will tell you. They've been through this recently. Some of them are going through this right now. I wonder if there's any other.
And the other hand as well is so this one.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing.
Sorry,
like,
let me finish that coaching, right? So if
Yeah,
you're
go
facing a bet, you just ask overbluff, underbluff, think about their range and decide. And if you have the chance to bluff, you ask overfolded, underfolded, think about their range and decide. Just for now, just as a way of like getting the gears moving again. And if you're considering value betting, you place your equity, you pick a sizing. And also if you're bluffing, you just map it to your value range quickly. That's all I want you to do. Those things. Those explicit things for now. What kind of spot is it? Facing bet, overbluff, underbluff. Making bet, am I bluff candidate or value candidate? If it's bluff candidate, what sizing am I mapping to and is it a good spot to bluff? Is it overfolded, underfolded? Just get back to that. You can do this stuff. I've seen you play so much better than this in the past in this challenge.
Yeah.
And right now you're in a rut. And we can get out of it. But also take a break, right? Take a couple of days off. Go outside. Just don't play poker for a few days. Take the weekend off. And while you're taking that off, just think about how you're going to approach things when you come back and how you're going to streamline your end game and be your own performance coach when you're playing. How am I doing? Am I doing what I need to do? Not how is it going, not what technical thoughts have I got, but how am I doing performance-wise? That should be your focus. Okay, Queen Jack suited. What happened here?
I think I should just fold pre. Like, how am I?
So it's a cold
it
four
was-
bet, yeah?
No, it was limp.
Right.
I don't know. Somebody limped. I think it was him. It doesn't matter. I ISO to four
Mhm.
4.5,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get 3 bet, and I think I should just fold.
Yeah, just fold. There's a horrible SBR. You're almost like cold calling a 4-bet, and Queen Jack suited's really dominated. It's just not got the implieds. Yeah, just let it go.
Yep.
Shit spot, let it go. Burning building, leave. Fire exit. Keep it simple. Shit spot. Ace 10 suited, shit spot. Out of there. Queen Jack, shit spot. Out of there. Remember I was talking to you and Shu earlier?
Yeah,
And I
heard
said,
it.
Shu, one of the...
noticed
I know this is painful because, like, I'm saying stuff about Shu's game and she's your competitor and she's obviously playing well at the moment. She's playing, like, some of her better poker and you're playing your F game. You know you can do so much better. You're not currently, but this is temporary. It's fleeting. And that ability to just say, I don't need this spot. It's doing nothing for me. It's not plus EV. I don't know what will be going on post flop. I don't need this the drama of it. Just like don't bother with it.
Yeah.
Ace 10 suited, Queen Jack suited, both those kind of spots today. Just leave the building. Just check out. It's fine. Post flop. The problem is that because Villain's 3-bet against an ISO here, he's just not going to have that wide a range. And honestly, yeah, I think you played it fine. There's not a lot you can really do. It sucks. Like it.
Yeah.
Like if they're under bluffing pre, if they're not polar enough pre, it can suck. But I will say, like Broadway, brick runouts, these can be overbluff runouts. It wouldn't surprise me if this runout was one of the few that's overbluffed here. I don't mind a river call here actually, but I don't think again that there was. We need that right. We need that question. Like, are they overbluffing or underbluffing here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I shouldn't put myself in these spots as well. But it's like you say, just run away when you get the chance.
Poker will put you in bad spots, but don't put yourself in extra bad spots that are minus EV from pre-flop. That's certainly something we need to avoid.
Yeah, we are out of position. If you're in position, it's different, but out of position, it's just going to be a hell spot to play.
Yeah.
I should just not take it pre.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a couple of days break. or like at least a day. It's up to you how long you want to take, but at least some time
Yeah.
where you just clear your head, let your brain reorganize, let it defragment a little bit. And when you come back, you will find that things are better. And then you need to performance coach yourself. Even if you drop your volume down a bit, you've got to performance coach yourself and try to start performing near your best again. It will happen. This is frustrating. I get it. I've been through this as well. It sucks. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let's I know you need to go in like, I need to go in like 10 minutes. You need to go in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you want to wrap it there? Do you want to play another orbit? What do you want to do?
No, actually, I don't want.
I get it. You're also on stream, and it's harder on stream. When you're not playing well on stream, it's a fucking nightmare. Like, on my stream, I made an egregious blunder when Ben was there, and I'd never normally make, and it was just like, what has happened to my brain in that, like, and it's panic, and it's freezing, right?
Yeah.
And it's an inability to know what's going on for a second.
It's also caring too much. Sure, I shouldn't do it, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's not caring too much. It's good that you care, but it's like you're channeling the fact that you care incorrectly. You're channeling it into frustration, which is normal. But frustration when you're stuck doesn't go anywhere. So it needs to be channeled into like action, and that action is probably a break. It's just like, right, I just need a break, and then I'm going to really sit down and make sure I get back on the right path here. And you will be able to. You do need a break in these times. Not a long break, not running away for 2 weeks, but you need like a day or two.
Yep.
Solwa says, I think these live play coaching sessions are too disjointed to be much help at this stage of his game. You know, I think they're still of help. I agree that like from a hand review perspective, it's not very organized, but bear in mind that Jurgen has carrot poker school. He's a golden carroteer. He has that stuff to go through. He has the systematic poker education when he needs it. This is more for performance coaching. And I'm aware that there's a lot of stuff out with his level here, like leading the turn in a certain spot might be beyond his current understanding. That's fine, but we can still coach his performance, and that's what we're doing today. Yeah. Chat's been supportive. You got this, Jurgen. Trust your future, bro. You'll get through this. Everyone's been there in poker. Everyone's been in this situation. This is not a unique thing. You're not special for being in this situation, which is a good thing, because it wouldn't be good if you were, right? If it was only happening to you, that would really suck, but it actually happens to all of us at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, post a link for your song. That's great, Mr. Person. I'm slightly scared, but yeah, go for it. Right, guys, we'll be back next week with more Carrot Corner content. You've got until Monday to use code LATEBIRD, one word, to save 33% if you missed our sale. And I will talk to you guys soon. Jurgen, thanks so much for coming on, man. It was very bold of you, even though you know you're playing not your best right now, to sit here on stream and get this feedback. So kudos to you for that. And we'll talk next week, man. Have a good weekend. Get some rest. All right. See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.